Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the Once Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, this is Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, welcome to What's Bruin. I am host Jake Berryfield, and I'm joined by my good buddy Mike Regalado, who's here on the line from his wonderful San Gabriel estate. Mike, what's going on?
What is up, Jake? How you doing?
I'm all right. I just spilled a 40-ounce soda in the studio floor, so I'm not thrilled with that. But other than that, everything's just peachy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. And it shouldn't have had to happen. Yeah, it shouldn't happen. But anyways, Mike, this is the What's Bruin Show. What's Bruin Show Network. Yada, yada, yada. Call the hotline, 805-399-4WBS. Second range, Troy. You are
upset. you wanted that soda, didn't you?
No, the soda's neither here nor there. It's just another layer of things. But Mike,
right?
You are the beat reporter for 24/7 Sports. Is that accurate?
One of them, yes.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about your new venture?
Which began on March 1st. Bruin Report went to On3, and 24/7 Sports wanted to fill that vacancy with its own UCLA coverage. And I had inquired about it. Clearly, they liked me. I'm still with it. I have a lot of knowledge. You'd be surprised. A lot of knowledge to this, especially like from the technical aspect, how to use 24/7. SEO, search engine optimization. I'm all kind of skilled in that. Not to brag, it's just with like a online entity, you definitely need to know your way around the site. So training guys, and to get them up to speed, showing them what the best practices are. It's really fun, but at the same time, this has been the weirdest time to do this change because we are coming up on spring ball. We have it's March Madness, baby. It's March, so it's an interesting transition trying to figure out how to go forward. And I think the guys who it's Connor Morissette, who used to write for Ryan Abraham at USCFootball.com, the other 24/7 site for USC. Jack Savage, also with 24/7 Sports. I think he went to. I'm not even going to guess. Just a fantastic writer, but also a former walk-on of UCLA baseball.
Oh, fun!
And the son of head coach John Savage. Yeah. So, and then the fantastic Mr. Friend of the show, Chris Johnson. He is on board. I was very excited when I heard that. And he's going to give his basketball expertise, and just kind of attacking this daily function, with games and all that, in a different way. Just trying to put out more content. Like last night, Connor and I were both at the women's basketball game at USC, and wanted to do a post-game breakdown. Something I think is kind of essential. Having video on your visual site. But I always think that more video is great content, especially since that's where this is run by CBS Sports. Nothing but video, nothing but content. So being able to do that here, it's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it, especially since I kind of do the 2-minute drills, like after football and basketball games. Well, now we could do like maybe a 5-minute drill, in which just give a quick breakdown as well as the other, post-game stuff that we're doing. So, it's really fun. It's really interesting. And we're only 2 days in, but, I think everyone's still trying to figure out how to do it, who's going to be responsible for what. But, very excited.
It's exciting. All right, well, good. I'm happy for your new challenge. That's terrific.
Thank you, sir.
But when you're getting blown yourself,
That's the last time I'll play that. That's good. Good. Mike, what do you want to talk about?
Well, dude, Bob Chesney's everywhere. I swear, he's doing everything right. This is just more of a thought rather than a topic of conversation. But yeah, he is all over the social medias.
Well, let me play the football intro then.
Blue 32, Blue 32, California, California, hood, hood, hey! Football.
There we go. Chesney, talk.
He's just
Steaming
doing everything
hot
right.
Chesney talk. Yes, right.
Yeah. Wow. It's just noticeable how out there he is, and the excitement he's bringing to the fan base by way of social media. I should have looked this up. I mean, this just came to me right now, but they have a new director of media who is just absolutely killing it with the videos, and it's just making it's just increasing excitement for the football program, which we haven't really had in a long time. But to see Chesney out there talking to everybody, seeing who everybody is, going to the gymnastics meet, going to the women's basketball game, making himself seen. Didn't really see that with Chip or Deshaun. And those two were just completely different coaches in their own right. But Chesney is just, I don't know. He's just doing everything right. That's the only way I can put it.
As far as you can do everything right in February, March of a football offseason before you've ever coached a game for your team, right?
Yeah, and they're doing off-season workouts. They're putting those videos out, and they're putting out more and more. Their social media content isn't dry. It's not just like, oh, here's a video of a catch, boom, UCLA football. They're doing stuff like kind of like what the women's basketball team is. Kind of like giving the guys a question as they exit, the football facility, and just kind of getting to know who these guys are. They kind of did that a few years ago, but it hasn't really been consistent social media work. Now you're kind of seeing a little bit more of the team, and I think that is important because we have no idea who most of these guys are. Yeah. We didn't know who they were last year, and they limited a
lot of new people.
The media. They limited access to the new guys, so you have no idea who this guy is. You look at the roster, you look at the lineup, and you're like, oh, wait, who's that guy? Oh, wait, he transferred from where? Oh, okay, cool, yeah. So just to have that presence, to be out there and be seen, it kind of feels it's not there yet. There's still a lot of time, but this feels like it should be this kind of like almost Hollywood thing. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to say you're Hollywood because you kind of have to prove it first. But just to be out there in the land of entertainment, that's a huge thing, which has just not been there for UCLA football over the last several years.
Well, I mean, you said you have to prove whether or not you're Hollywood or not. No, they could be fully on Hollywood and go out and struggle on the field. That would just prove that they're like, vapid and valueless, or vapid and shallow. But if they can go out and prove it on the field, then they can be like your favorite team of all time, Mike, Showtime, the Lakers of the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're both. They're both. But like I said, this is all adjusting for how much can you really prove in the winter of a football offseason, and the answer is not very much. You can't prove anything, but you can certainly do things that appear to be on the right track. And that's what it seems like, and all we've wanted for UCLA football for the last, since Jim Mora, his personal crisis that scuttled the program midway through his tenure. All we've wanted is like a real professional that wanted to be here. You had Chip Kelly, who was a real professional, but didn't want to be here. And then you had Deshaun Foster, who, God bless him, and he's awesome, and I hope he goes on to a successful career at some point on the head coach.
Yeah. He wanted to be here, but
he wanted to be here, but he did not have the chops to do the job. And now we're hoping that Chesney has both, right? He's motivated.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been head coach. He knows what to do. And now, hopefully, he's doing it. But we're still not going to go diddly squat until we actually get to the season. But you certainly could throw up a bunch of warning signs or red flags, which is kind of what Deshaun Foster and Chip Kelly did in their own way leading into their tenures. That's not what we have now, and it's kind of fun, Mike. You're talking about the sizzle that's kind of being created. I think the sizzle is only being noticed by us faithful members of the Bruin fan base and the Bruin media, because I think UCLA is still very much under the radar relative to other programs across the country and in the Big Ten. Would you agree with that, Mike?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's great that he's gaining all this attention, but yeah, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, gaining attention with us, like you still listen to any national podcast, and UCLA is like still a complete afterthought, which I think is to his benefit. Like get us all jazzed up, but you still go into the season without real expectations nationally, and then you can hopefully surprise people, which would be great.
Yeah. It's just refreshing to see just a coach care as much as he does.
I mean,
trying to drum up all that. So
I'm just saying that. I think we can make an argument that Chip Kelly didn't care for a lot of his tenure, right? But I don't think we could say that Deshaun Foster didn't care. It's just they were ill-equipped, right? I mean, they were putting together things from scratch with no experience, and that's a tough boat to be in, right?
Yeah.
So, Mike, you went over it last week on the show, which you did solo, but refresh me again on when this stuff starts, spring practice.
That would be April 2nd, I believe, Thursday. That's the first one. Then they're going to have one on that Saturday, and I think they're going to have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday pattern all through April. The last Friday, they do have one on a Friday. That's going to be like a Friday Night Lights type of deal. So that's kind of cool that they're keeping that. Plus, it says that we are going to have a spring game, not a showcase, a spring game. But it's going to be that first weekend is going to be interesting because that is are the dates of the women's Final Four. Actually, both Final Four, but that weekend. So I think Connor and I are going to be covering the first day, and then he'll cover the second. While hopefully I'm in Phoenix covering the women's team. So
hopefully so.
Yeah, so it's coming up quick, and then summer workouts, and August is going to be here before we know it.
No, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. All right, Mike. Well, is there anything else going on with football that you want to talk about?
No, that's about it. Chesney's just balling. He's showing that he has some chops. Digging it. So
let's hope. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey. Men's or women's?
Let's do men's first because this is not going good.
All right. Well, by not going good, you mean over the Bruins' last 5 games they're 2-3, but out of the last 3 games they're 2-1. But they took a big L at Minnesota, and now they have Nebraska and the rest of the season against SC. When you say it's not going good, Mike, what do you mean?
Well, considering that, yes, that Illinois the win over Illinois and the win over USC.
Well, let me reframe that question real quick, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Considering that after the double Michigan loss, right, the at Michigan State, the embarrassment, the ejection that happened live on air with us when we were talking, and
that was crazy.
And then the 4 or 5 days straight of Mick Cronin getting dragged nationally, just like every day there was another article or story about it, and he really did not look good. And then they bounced back with a win against Illinois, and then a win against SC, where they throttled SC. That sort of righted the ship a little bit, I want to say, but then the loss to Minnesota happened. So where do you characterize this team right now? Let's just go straight to, are they going to make the tournament, which is a sad standard for UCLA basketball, but that's where we're at right now. And then how do you think they are just as a team? So start with the tournament, Mike.
Yeah, no, that was actually going to ultimately be my point is this is UCLA. Why are they struggling to get into the tournament? It's just that things have not been going well with them. They're not consistent. We talked with Bill about this, about how they're just inconsistent on many levels. Defense is the worst one, and just overall gameplay. Why can't they play the way they played against Purdue and Illinois and USC every game? If they could do that, probably wouldn't have lost by double digits to Michigan State and Michigan, and you'd probably be in contention for the Big Ten title. The fact that they're not in contention for the Big Ten title is that's a huge concern, and it's not looking good because I mean Nebraska. I don't think they're favored, but not by much. But even still, if they get that win, is UCLA in or out? I don't know. They'll most likely beat SC because they have their own problems. They just kicked off their top scorer, so they'll probably get that win. So I think ultimately by the end of next week, UCLA should be in, but that's a bad place to be. You can't be should be in. They should be locked in somewhere, 2, 3, 4, 5 seed even, but projected to be a 9 to 11 seed. And one of the things I saw, what was it? ESPN's bracketology. I think it came out today. They have UCLA in the first 2 rounds in Orlando.
As of right now, they're in Philadelphia. Or I don't know, maybe that's the Orlando bracket. Is that the Orlando? Is that where they're at? It says Philadelphia.
I don't know.
It says Philadelphia is a 9 seed.
Yeah, either way, they're not on the West Coast. They're not going to be anywhere near home. And then you have, if they make it to the Sweet 16 Elite 8, that's in Houston. Not horrible, but it's still not home. And then, nobody's expecting them to go to the Final Four. I think that with this team, this is a different team from that Final Four team, because that team played consistently. This one does not. Defense is its biggest problem, and it's going to be the death of them. But yeah, and even if they do get to the tournament, I don't think they're going to get out of the first or second round.
Well, if they get to the tournament and they're 8 or 9 seed, that means that they're, even if they win that first round, they're going up against number 1. In this case, it would be UConn is what the ESPN bubble their projection has, which would be interesting. That we're hoping that this UCLA men's team would play UConn early. We're hoping that the UCLA women's team plays UConn, in the championship game, but it'd be kind of a weird year if they both played them in the tournament. But your point being said is absolutely valid, Mike. Like, this team was supposed to be better than this. But, a couple weeks ago, we were like, they're not even going to make the tournament. Now they are going to make a tournament, we think. Is there anything about when I asked you a couple days after the double losses to Michigan and Michigan State, I think you were skeptical whether or not they'd win another game at all. So, I mean, has there been, you're saying they're inconsistent, right? Has there been any sort of real rebound from the depths they sunk to in Michigan, or do you think it's all just more unpredictability for this entire season? Like, they're just, you never know what you're going to get.
No, there absolutely is a turnaround, because in those 2 games against Illinois and USC, they looked good. They actually looked really good. They were playing amazing defense. They were playing amazing offense. Pretty good on defense. Very solid and very minimal lapses. And the fact that they were down by double digits early on, and then to fight back by halftime, force overtime, and then just blow past Illinois, literally. The way Dent went full court, a la Tyus Edney style, to get that game winner. Little different because this is a regular season game, and that was one of the key March Madness highlights in UCLA history. But we get it. We get it. There was like everybody was saying, like Tyus Edney. I'm like, different circumstances, but sure. But yeah, no, Dent played amazing in that game and against USC. I think there was he had something like 30 assists and no turnovers. And then Minnesota happens, and it's just like, just not, everyone's not good. Tyler Bilodeau has been the most consistent player, but even he has, he struggles a bit, and he definitely struggled in that one. But if he wasn't horrible, but he wasn't what UCLA, what we've seen from him for UCLA this season.
Bilodeau?
What is it?
Didn't he drop like 30 points or
Bilodeau.
something?
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of another game.
No, that was a game he was very good in. Him and Daly were good, and everybody else sucked.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
Sky
right.
Clark
I'm
was
thinking
okay.
of something else.
But Donovan Dent, 1 for 6.
Daly came out of nowhere. Yeah, Dent. Just like where'd you go, bro? 15 assists. That's actually pretty insane. But 1 of 6. First off, just 6 shots. You gotta do more. I mean, yeah, you're helping out Bilodeau and Clark and Daly. Trent Perry disappeared on this when Eric Freeney didn't even play. Yeah, and Jamerson, since that tirade, he hasn't played much either. Not that he played a ton anyway, but is he going to play at all? I mean, is there something there? Hopefully not. But why are you working with guys that are not getting you a lot of stuff? Like Daly, finally, Cronin's stuck with him, kind of like he stuck with Johnny Juzang. He played no defense. He often went cold, but hey, he would occasionally hit some shots. I guess that's what's going on with Daly. He hit 18, but that's not what he's averaging lately. Sky Clark, that guy has had a tough year. So to go 6 of 9 for 17, pretty good. But that was it. Well, you can't have just 3 guys try to take on a rowdy Big Ten team on their own floor.
Yeah, and the Bruins were slight favorites to win the game. The Minnesota's slightly under 500 in the Big Ten. But you're right, Mike. You can't take these road games lightly. You've always talked about how your goal really should be to win your home games and split your road games. At worst. And in this case, the Bruins are 0-3 on their last 3 road games. So that's not cutting it. That's not getting it done. They have 2 more opportunities this year. That's the Nebraska game, ranked Nebraska. See how they do, and then they have at SC. Hopefully, they should be able to beat SC in that game, like you said previously. But Mike, what do you think about Mick Cronin now, considering a week ago, like we said, he was getting dragged relentlessly, and it looked like it really was shaping up to be a season where we're an off season where we're heading into the end of the Mick Cronin era, possibly, maybe, right? That's what type of pressure there was. And then he wins a couple games, and now they're back to kind of just being an up and down team, and yada yada yada. Where are you at? Not where are you at? I know where you're at. What do you think the zeitgeist is around UCLA basketball right now in relation to Mick Cronin? Like, is this a guy that's solidly on the hot seat, solidly safe? I know he's got that giant contract extension, yada 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 thing, but I mean, where is he? Within the fan community right now, more people against him or with him or whatever. What do you think?
Well, clearly you're not on the socials, Jake, because
got that right.
People are ready to fly banners. I'll say it that way. That should encapsulate how the entire fan base, how the majority of the fan base is now. Like people, like I'll just bring up UCLA something, not even mention Mick Cronin, and people will go, "I've turned on Mick Cronin." Like, oh, okay, I didn't ask, but thank you for your input. But no, yeah, people are not happy.
We know the Godfather's turned on him. He's with you now.
And I thought about it this way. He apologized. Let's say it, or let's say it just never happened. The whole blow up, ejecting Jamerson. Let's say that never happened. But what is still in place? The fact that they are not Big Ten contenders. This is the 3rd straight year. Highly leaning on transfers to help get it done. Not bringing in high school recruits. He has one guy that's kind of a project for next year. That's a 3-star. Nothing against 3 stars, but UCLA needs to bring in 4 and 5-star players. That's not happening. Cronin is not getting recruiting done. The transfer portal, that's working. Now you reinsert all that happened. Recruits saw that. As you said, it was on everywhere. Everybody was talking about Mick Cronin. And yeah, people make decisions based on stuff like that they see. So is he going to get some key transfers, or is this maybe the beginning of the end? I don't know. I don't think he'll get fired unless he really crashes and burns, unless like the next 3 games at the very minimum are just like 20-point blowouts. There might be a reason for conversation, but if he makes it to the tournament, that's still good. But is that what he's getting paid for? Is that what he got this huge extension for? He got a Final Four. He has one regular season championship, and that's about it. But that's nowhere. That's not what UCLA basketball head coach is not hired for. So it's just it's on him to figure this out. Because even if let's say they repeat what they did next year, yeah, fans are not going to put up for that. And like I just said already, there are so many people that have turned on Mick Cronin, and it's because of that. There's no consistency with this. They're not contending, and not bringing in the top recruits. UCLA doesn't have the greatest NIL, but they have something. So what's going to happen? Can Mick figure out what's going on, or is he just going to try to shove his square into a round hole?
What's Mike? What's the fallout? Was there actually any real fallout that we know about with Jamerson about the incident?
No, I mean, Cronin said that he apologized. He said it was his fault.
Well, I mean, separate from what Cronin said, has there been anything?
Yeah.
From any other camp?
Not that. No.
So the one thing it does occur to me is that still, Mick, when you look at most of the time, he's kept his players. Like there's some notable exceptions, Adem Mara or whatever, for sure.
Mm.
But I mean, for the most part, his players seem to dig him, even if he's the tough love type. But it seems like that's been a little bit strained this year, just from my read, my watching. Do you get that same sense, or do you still feel like this is a team that, like, they're a team, they kind of circle the wagons around each other, and regardless of what the press clippers are saying about how Cronin treats them, or what how people are opining about how Cronin treats his players, the players still believe in Cronin, and to a degree vice versa, or not? Is that still a thing? Is it not? Is that completely eroded? Is that gone? What do you think? Does that question even make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was going to say I can't answer that now. We could probably answer that more clearly when the transfer portal opens, because UCLA is already going to lose 4 or 5 players, and then what do we have for next year? Trent Perry, Xavier Booker, Freeney. Those are going to be some key. Not Booker. I'm sorry. Either way, guys like Perry and Freeney are going to be key to UCLA's success next year. Hopefully they have a jump from this year to next year, but even more, hopefully they stay. That's going to be interesting to see who stays. Does anybody transfer out? Yeah, so that's actually a good question for when the transfer portal opens.
No, all that makes sense, and I guess the proof is going to be in the pudding of like who actually stays and goes, in addition to the guys that are already having to leave after the season. All right, Mike. Well, on with better news, I guess. Let's get to the women. So, women's basketball still ain't lost. Still number 2. I know you're upset about the number 2 thing, Mike. I think you need to, in my opinion, just let it all happen. But number 2 is not number 1, but it's not number 3 either. So, with that being said, though, the women finished off their season, right?
Yep, they finished off. They had a week off before their final game, which came at the Galen Center against USC, a place where they've lost twice in the last 2 seasons.
Yeek. No juju.
No juju. And yeah, last year when they lost at USC, that was their first loss of the season. They were 24-0 at that point. And oh yeah. Also want to say after this, say a little bit about the documentary that came out. UCLA, that was pretty good. It's on streaming platforms right now, but I'll get into that in a second. Yeah, so just to rewind a bit, take down Washington, take down Wisconsin. Those were kind of I expected those to be a bit more blowouty, but hey, they still got double digits, and it's just weird because you can see that the team kind of has lulls during the game, even if it's for like max 5 minutes total in a game. That's still too much time to not be on point. Especially getting into the postseason. So, Corey Close has pointed to some of that. Why the Bruins kind of like struggled in game at certain points. Even last night against USC, the Bruins were up. What is this? Either way, they came out of halftime. USC goes on an 11-2 run within the first 2 minutes. I think it was like 9:01 around there, 9:05 seconds. 8:05 seconds. Literally within 2 minutes, Corey Close calls timeout because that was just embarrassing. 9 straight points from USC, and from that point, the Bruins just slowly put them in the rearview mirror. They won 73-50. USC is just struggling. Aside from the fact that Juju's not playing, they really only have 4 contributors, and that's not good, especially when you have 6 players on UCLA's team that are potentially going to get drafted. So that's going to be that was kind of a no-brainer to think that UCLA would beat USC. So they are still having little lulls right here, little scoring droughts, and you can't have that unless you force other teams to do that at the same time. But for the most part, they are running on all cylinders, and just a damn tough team. Like if one player is not as opposed to last year, Lauren Betts was the go-to. Kiki had off nights. London Jones had off nights. Gabriella had off nights. When they played really well together, they would blow out teams. They beat number 1 South Carolina at the beginning of last season. This season, they're blowing everybody out, and it's weird that I'm still looking at the games, going, you can work on stuff. You're up by 25. You could be up by 30. So it's apparent that Corey Close is not completely happy. She's happy with the direction the team is going in, but if they want to get back to the Final Four, potentially get their first championship since Ann Myers-Drysdale, then this has to be a 40-minute team. If they do come out, like you were talking about, possibly meeting up with UConn, that happens. UConn is not going to let up. UConn is deep and talented, but so is UCLA. But how are they going to match up, and how are they going to play those games? Either way, at this point, the Big Ten tournament starts on. I have it all right here. It starts on Wednesday with the first 2 rounds. UCLA doesn't play until Friday in the quarterfinals. Now they will play either number 9 USC or number 8 Washington, and with UCLA in the top 4, getting those first 2 round buys is number 2 Iowa, number 3 Michigan, and number 4 Minnesota. So what does that mean for UCLA? Absolutely nothing. They've beaten every single team. They are 18-0. It's the first time it's happened in program history, and the first time in the Big Ten since I think 2014.
That's rad.
UCLA is if they were to lose again, I maybe a championship game if it's really close. They did play Michigan really close. Iowa and Minnesota, they put up a fight with UCLA, but this UCLA team is just too damn good. I expect them to win the tournament, get the overall number 2 seed, and hopefully get to the Final Four. But yeah, right now this is the best basketball I've seen from UCLA women's basketball since I've really been paying attention, over the last decade. Very few flaws, and just a team that just genuinely loves each other. I talk about how there are these like Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice fan accounts and they are just posting all of their stuff. Like I think these are like high school teenage girls. It's pretty awesome how much dedication they have to their love for their players. But they'll like repost stuff on their from the Lauren Betts TikTok or Gianna Neeps or Kiki Rice, and they're all just dancing and having a good time. And I was kind of joking to myself last night watching the women's documentary. I thought to myself, if they did a documentary about the men, it'd probably be about 5 minutes long because they'd have to edit it so much.
That's funny. Well, reset this documentary thing, Mike.
So last night after the game, after UCLA defeated USC 73-50 in that cavernous place they call Gaylor Center, immediately after on FS1 they had UCLA, YOUSEELA. Basically, it followed UCLA's journey last season from when they started the season out in Paris against Louisville to their Final Four run. And you got a lot more of a behind the scenes than you usually would. Obviously, it's a documentary. You want to highlight the key characters and then bring out stories that you wouldn't normally hear. And some of the things that they talk about was Lauren Betts kind of struggling mentally and how she gets in her own head. Gabriela Jaquez, how she's kind of like she's like kind of the fire, the heart and soul of the team. You know, Kiki's learning to become that leader, that point guard that needs to distribute the ball, but at the same time take it to the hoop when necessary. It was just really good storytelling. They even had some good, we made fun of the quote unquote traitors, London Jones and Gianna Barker, but they highlighted them too, and just to give them that spotlight was really good. This is a really entertaining documentary because it literally followed their path through their season. They talked about losing to USC, and that was their first loss of the season. Then getting their butts whooped at Poly by USC in the final game to lose the Big Ten championship, and just how they all got on top of each other after that, but they all rallied around each other to make that Final Four run. So it was very well done, and I recommend it to everybody. And it's just weird, just because some of the things, I generally remember what happens in a season, but they would pick out certain games. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I was at that, I saw that, or I was there. She got that record or this record. So it was kind of a good flashback for me for last season. But yeah, it was really good. And someone wrote to me today saying, I hope they do a part 2, and it ends better this time. So I'm like, yeah, me too. But yeah, I highly recommend that. That was a damn good documentary.
That's awesome. Yeah, and to be honest with you, like, my apologies, I had no idea the thing even existed. So I'll try to check that out, I think. And
they announced it like they announced it like in that Tuesday prior, I think, that it was going to be on FS1. But yeah, it was everybody was talking about that after the game, about how good it was, and I'm like, I'm not home yet, no spoilers.
Sick. That's great. That's great. So Mike, we have one call that's a little stale because it's from last week when you did the show by yourself. So I'm not exactly sure how much is on here, but it's a lot of call, and it's from one of the great loves of my life, and that's Carrie, our friend. And she's out there, and she called with 5 minutes of a call. And I don't know, maybe by the time this reaches the air, I'll chop it down to 3 minutes or so. I don't know, or 2 minutes, or I don't know. But I'm just let it roll. This is, of course, the hotline, 805-394-WBS, Second Troy. Having lunch with Michael tomorrow. Now newly minted South Bay residents again, moving out of the valley. But Carrie's got some stuff to say, and I'm sure some of this is probably stale because this is like before men's basketball won a couple and then lost and yada, yada, yada. But we're just going to rock. And then, Mike, I want you to respond how you feel to what Carrie's got to say. So listen up.
Hey, what's Bruin Show?
Hi, Carrie.
I loved your past few shows. I hope you had a great vacation, Jake.
Thank you.
This is Carrie. I've been having a lot of fun watching the Olympics, and congratulations to Alyssa Liu, who won the gold in the women's skating, ice skating. And, she's gotten a lot of media coverage, and she seems like such an excellent human being. Really glad that she's at UCLA and definitely repping the school well.
Definitely.
Many thanks to the women's hockey team. There are, I would say, at least half the skaters on that
USA,
team are
USA.
from the Big Ten. A lot of Wisconsin, few Ohio State, and I've got there's more, but it sounded like half. So that's like a Big Ten team that won the gold. Very happy about UCLA women's basketball. I'm still just worried about the potential UConn game and hoping they can get a better handle on the turnovers, just not be caught on their heels when playing any of the top four teams. That'd be a big improvement from last year. And just those seniors, gosh, what a great way to acknowledge them at the basketball game a couple of days ago. But they're not done yet, so
That's right.
they're still going to be at Poly. And I look forward to seeing them play. And Corey Close, like, what a class act. And, men's basketball, always a roller coaster. Oh, my gosh. There's so much drama. I'm really happy that this team bounced back. It was amazing. These guys are tough, and I don't ever want to hear Cronin say that these kids aren't tough. Because I think they're tougher than he is, frankly. And I think they won despite all the craziness last week on that Michigan trip.
OMG's carry out.
23 points. So good for them. And I feel like they have found a sense of confidence, and even like in little things like watching Trent Perry kind of wave off Cronin screaming at him on the sideline.
All right, so she ran out of time there, so now she's going to come back with another little bit of a call. So let's keep going with Carrie. We love you, Carrie.
Yeah, it's Carrie again, and I just got the feeling that these players are still more comfortable setting a boundary with Cronin, which is good. And they played more their version, and it was good to see Daly at the 4 again. Move from the 3 to the 4. Well, that's what it'll look like. He played a lot better. The 3 guards definitely were able to take advantage of Illinois. And they played to their strengths. I mean, it was like offense creating defense for that last game. And I'll give credit to Cronin to making that, in-game change and just being open to allowing them to run, which is not his normal thing. I hope they can keep it going tonight against USC.
They did.
And hopefully they'll make it into the tournament and have something of a run.
We hope so,
but,
too.
I'm just happy to see these kids excelling, and I hope they can continue. And, baseball, amazing. Just swept TCU. The women's softball also playing well, although I think they dropped a few games in the past week or so against ranked opponents. But, yeah, it's fun. And I'm happy to be a Bruin.
Oh, us too.
I have some thoughts on Cronin, but I'll just keep them to myself.
Like Mike.
I just hope this guy can be more flexible in his coaching style. Let's just put it that way. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for your show. Looking forward to hearing from you soon and everything you do to bring us your wonderful podcast. All right, go Bruins.
Go Bruins, and thank you, Carrie. And it's so funny, Mike, because I've coached on many of an occasion, and I'm right now I'm in charge of a football team of 50 people, and it's just I do a lot of things in this realm on a much not even close to measuring level of a Mick Cronin, right? Like there's no stage like that for me. But when I think about the type of coach I am, it's the antithesis of Mick Cronin outwardly after a game, grousing, yelling, MFing his players and all that stuff. And it's the opposite of what he is. However, I think the heart of Mick Cronin and me are exactly the same in that most of the time when you get right down to it, I feel like Mick Cronin is very invested in his players, wants to see his players succeed. And it's his own method that gets him to his process of why he's MFing them. But in my heart of hearts, I still believe that Mick Cronin wants to see his guy succeed as opposed to, just being a mother effer, Now, Mike, the whole thing with Michigan State where it seemed like he was being demonstrative for the sake of Tom Izzo, that didn't rub me the right way, just like it didn't rub you the right way. But
yeah,
I still am, if you had to make me answer right now, am I still on board with Mick or not? I'm still on board with Mick. And I know I'm in the minority right now, but I'm still on board with Mick. But I've never been less on board with Mick than I am right now, if that makes any sense. But I'm still on board. Mike.
That was a pure Libra answer. You were like, this, this.
Yeah. So, Mike, what do you think about what Carrie said just about that or anything else she said about the women or, anything else?
Yeah, no, I was pretty much, I'm sad now this last week and a half because the Olympics are gone. Like, what do I do at night? I come home, I watch
That's
Olympics.
Funny.
I really got into different sports with the kids, and they were just like, oh, can we see the alpine jumps and the luge and all that? And they were like, this is the first Olympics they've really paid attention, understood what was going on. So it was really fun to connect with them that way. But yeah, I'm like, I miss the Olympics and watching Alyssa Liu. I saw her performance with the kids, and they absolutely loved it. Yeah, baseball and softball those are two teams that need more attention. UCLA baseball is absolutely on a roll right now. Definitely the number one. They've lost a few, but they're still a pretty damn strong team. Probably one of the best in John Savage's tenure. But yeah, as for Mick Cronin, it seems like he has to change something. It's like he's trying to force his way.
You said square peg round hole earlier, Mike. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah. He's trying to force feed his style of basketball, and that's a style of basketball that once worked, but it's evolved.
Well, Mike, stop. Let me stop you there. How would you characterize his style? What are we referring to? His coaching style, his schematic
defensive
style,
minding. Yeah, on ball.
Go with that.
Active. Diving for everything, jumping for every rebound, just being really active on defense, and then having that transition to offense.
So do you think that style is outdated? Like being a defensive-minded team, is that outdated, or is he just getting the wrong players? Or what's his biggest mistake right now, in your opinion?
It's probably because he can't get the top players. And there are players that want to play defense, and there are good offensive players that can play defense. But you could have a really good defensive team and a good offensive team. Like right now, UCLA's offense is better than its defense. But yeah, you're just kind of not getting the right guys. The fact that you kind of have an undersized players playing the 5 spot because Daimaro is gone because that didn't work out. It's just. Yeah, he's just not getting the right players. He's not really developing guys over 2 or 3 or 4 seasons. And yeah, I just think something has to change. And if he's not aware that something has to change, then that's going to be his biggest downfall.
Mike, now when I say to you, like you said earlier, and we're just kind of rolling with the Cronin talk, I suppose, but you said earlier, you characterized the last 3 years as they haven't gotten into the tournament strong. They missed the tournament. It's been 3 years since they've had a real strong team, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And it's all been because of the transfer portal. And I get that that's the similarity between those seasons. But then, to me, we said this at the beginning of this season, it does seem to me that he's tried something different each and every season. I know it's not high school recruiting, but he's tried a different path in the transfer portal each and every season. Do you still think that's a valid point on my part, or do you think that's bullshit? Because
I think it helps, but you need high school players. You need. It's great that you can bring in guys who already have experience, but you need to bring in the guys that not only have experience but were the leading scorer of their team last year. That was all SEC or all ACC, all Big Ten. Bringing in guys from Dakota State or whatnot. Smaller schools. If you're not getting the top transfers and you're not getting the top high school recruits, you're just not going to have the top talent, and that's what's happening right now. Not sure why it's not harder. People were on Chip Kelly about not recruiting. Well, Mick Cronin hasn't really been. I'm not saying he hasn't been recruiting, but he's not doing what he needs to get the guys in here for UCLA to be in the national championship conversation, like Duke or Florida or Houston or Arizona, which pains me to say. But hey, they're doing it. Why can't it be done here?
No, and I know what you're saying. And it's just, when I look at it, I'm like, I'm still looking at a guy that's trying to figure out how to change in this era. And look, I'm agreeing with you right now. I'm like less on board with him than I ever have been, but I'm still on board with him. But the one thing I will say is he's trying different stuff each and every year, and maybe eventually he tries something that actually works. We all thought this team was going to work this year. Like, we all thought it was. And the main reason it didn't is because they don't got a decent big guy, and Donovan Dent's not as good as we thought he was going to be, right? Not as consistent. Yeah. Those are the two main factors.
Or Eric Daly.
Yeah. But I mean, like, they got Dent thinking he was going to be the horse for them this year, right? I mean, isn't that accurate?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like that didn't pan out when you're talking about a basketball team and you're putting all your hopes on one guy to a degree. I know to a degree, and that doesn't pay off how you needed. Then, it's a little more understandable to me, like, what the deal is. But still, like, you're right, Mike. It's UCLA. You're in the Big Ten. You have tried to reload multiple times. It hasn't freaking worked. You got to get it right at some point. So it's just like, I know he's got the benefit of having this ginormous contract extension or whatever. He's still got to get right at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mike, I'm done with this. Let's do what's wrong with you and be done with this.
What's wrong with you? You ask me. What's wrong with me? Yeah. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you?
Mike A. What's wrong with you?
I did a lot of stuff this weekend.
Sick.
Got some new ink.
Oh, Mikey got a bear with a star, and he's like, I don't know, is that a commie bear, Mike?
It's like a fighting bear. It's supposed to
a fighting commie bear
symbolize the California bear.
I got
he's friends with this guy.
Oh, that's awesome! I love that guy.
Arm.
Yeah. Wait.
Friends.
Show me that lion. What does that lion look like to me?
That's the Scottish lion.
Scottish lion. Okay, thank you very much. That's pretty cool.
Scottish rampart lion.
So
technically.
Why?
So yeah, I did that. Well, for one, I haven't gotten a tattoo in a while, and I've been thinking about, like, obviously whenever I choose a tattoo, I want it to mean something. California meant something.
Fair enough.
And I didn't want the flag on me.
You don't want to be a doodle pad.
Exactly. But also having, because this is not that, like, the bear that's crawling. This guy's like ready to throw. This bear is ready to throw hands.
Mm-hmm.
But also to honor my son Hugo, whose middle name is Bear. Oh. And yeah, it was two others that I'm going to get are a Violet and a Poppy for
nice.
Violet and Poppy.
Wait, what
so yeah, I finally
names?
got it. It's Violet Sophie May, Poppy Lucia Valentine, and Hugo Elliott Bear.
Okay, that's fine, but to be consistent, because I like consistency and patterns, like, you got to do their middle names, not their first names. I mean, bro.
Yeah, but Violet and Poppy, that just sticks out. And Hugo is adopting. He loves his name. He loves his name, but he's also adopting the bear persona.
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
So,
that's
like,
good.
all right,
Roar.
Like, all right, bro. What did I do? Saturday, yeah, just
Go Bears.
Waiting for the whole transition from 24/7 Sports to 24/7 Sports. So that happened. Really hit the ground running. Got all the social medias up, and next day, went to the women's basketball game. And went with Connor, the other new writer for Bruin 24/7. We covered the game together. Did that post game video. I'm doing pretty much the same stuff I was doing before. Then after that, I ran over to Boyle Heights to do my show where I had this band Flotilla perform.
Sick.
Kind of like our own tiny desk. I put it on Twitter, so if you want to check it out. But yeah, it's this kind of like funk metal band that has like this tiny 5'2" chick just growling and snarling, and it somehow worked. I was like, damn, you guys are good. I actually saw
really
them
get behind that. Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I came across this last summer, and I went to it again about a month or two ago. The Goldfish in what is it, Eagle Rock? They have Wednesday rock nights, and every time I've been there, not like a whole time, like 2 or 3 times, just every band there, it's free, it's packed. And there's just some really good bands. So the last time I went there, they were the first band that was on, and they just caught my attention because they're just like doing these like metal riffs, and this chick is just like growling and like screaming punk rock style. I was like, I want to talk to y'all. And yeah, they came to the show last night. We're very grateful and had hell of fun. So
I love that.
It was that was fun. So I had a busy weekend, so I'm still exhausted from that, but. What's brewing with you?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, a lot of stuff brewing. I had a pretty fun and triumphant Friday last week because I basically catered a baby shower. Like, I don't know how that happened, but I did. It's for one of my friends at work named Talia, and she was heading off to maternity leave this last Friday, and instead of having a really just like soul crushing, awkward, like lunch at like a Cheesecake Factory or something where like me and like 3 other people and her are like just staring at each other awkwardly, I decided to take control of the situation and arrange a kind of a pop in coffee talk, come in and graze and have some sweets and some coffee, shoot the shit, and then like go on with the rest of your day sort of morning on Friday. In our little place where we work. And so my partner, Laura, did the decorations. I bought some stuff and then she put it all up and made it look real pretty. And then I spent Thursday day and night baking.
Nice.
And so I made like 3 dozen of our, probably 4 dozen of our chocolate chip cookies, a bunch of toffee, a bunch of peppermint bark, a bunch of cookies, another like 4 dozen cookies with the toffee in them, which is awesome. My own kind of creation. And then 4 dozen like snickerdoodles, which I'd never made before. Snickerdoodles are actually kind of fun to make because you get to roll them like donuts. And so then I brought all this food in on Friday along with some coffee and stuff. And we did the thing and people were able to pop in and have fun and celebrate Talia. And we also bought her, I bought her a bunch of gifts from, Amazon's huge because I got her a big old like, Mike, when you were a young parent with little babies, did you have a diaper bag that was like a transformer that could transform into a changing table / baby like playpen, complete with like a little mobile, all in a backpack, and it like extends out to like a 4 foot like baby play area?
We had different stuff.
No, the answer is no, Mike. You didn't have that when we were young parents. Now they do, and it's cool. And so I bought it for Talia, and it's like really rad. Anyways, I'm just saying.
Oh, cool. All
Mike,
right.
you're supposed to say no.
Well,
we didn't have that. Now these days, these parents have everything.
Well, I was literally trying to think. I was like, what the hell did we have? Yeah. Oh, dude, it's crazy.
It's just one of those.
The fact that strollers have cup holders so parents can hold their coffee. I never did that. That was extra. I was like, I'm not going to pay extra. I'll just hold it in my hand.
There's just a lot of stuff.
My niece is having a baby soon, and I just talking about that. Me and my sisters just chipped in for this plug and play, into the car, into the stroller situation. So yeah,
Nice.
that was pretty cool. They got that last week. But yeah, not that I've looked at baby stuff in a while.
Right,
But
that's the
sometimes I'll
thing.
see something. Yeah, sometimes I'll see something. I'm like, oh shit, look at that.
And then
Yeah.
Talia, she is a Maryland Terp, so I got her some baby stuff that had the
Nice.
Terps on it, and her husband's a stupid Wildcat, at U of A. So I got him some. I got some little baby U of A shoes and like something else, like a bib or something for the U of A guy.
Should have got him a UCLA bib.
I should have, but I wasn't trying to troll, But obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, I had a lot of fun with it, and it was really cool. And then on Friday, Megan came down Friday night. So on Saturday, we went to Disneyland, and we were at Disneyland like all day and had a nice time at Disneyland. So that was cool. And I had to go to football practice in the morning. And then on Sunday, we did a little birthday party for Megan where I cooked some carne asada and some shrimp, and we got a Susie cake for her, and it was lovely. It was a nice time. So just all good all the way around. And the twins came over and cooked some beans and made some chips and made some salsa, so that was nice. So just a very small little thing, but and then I couldn't get Bill to stop eating the tortilla chips that the twins made. So he almost, Mike, let me put it this way: the twins came over at 10 a.m. and made 2 giant tinfoil boxes of chips. It was basically for like 8 or 9 people, but they made 2 giant trays of chips. Okay, we didn't eat until like 4, and the chips were out there. And at one point, I'm sorry, at like 4 different points, I had to like chastise Bill. I'm like, Bill, stop eating the goddamn chips. The meal is later. The chips are for the meal. And he was like rolling his eyes at me, F you, Jake. Yeah, whatever. Stick it, old man, whatever. I'm just telling you, we ended up having enough chips. But you know what our margin of error for chips was at the end of this meal? It was like we were plus or minus. Like we got down to like 3 leftover chips. So Bill and his fucking grazing like eroded our entire margin of error. Now, thankfully, it was good. We were fine. Like we ended up okay. And so Bill will tell you, well, see, Jake, it's a win-win. We did it all right. But F you, dude, it's too close for my own comfort. I'm just going to tell you. But anyways, that's my what's bro. Yeah, Bill, you're a dick. But God bless him. Now, Mike, that's all we got. It's been an hour.
Yeah.
And we're done. So well, I guess we'll podcast next week. Every week it's a week-to-week, decision for me. So, but maybe you'll be here. Maybe
I mean, we're going to have to talk about the Big Ten tournament champion UCLA Bruins. So
yeah, that's right. Go Bruins.
Yeah.
Just the ballers, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got that coming our way, and then hopefully Carrie and Nancy will hook up up in the north of us in Northern California. Sacramento? Is that where it is? Is that where the first round is?
Yes.
Yeah.
First round is at Poly. First and second rounds at Poly. Elite 8, Sweet 16. That's in Sacramento, and Final Four and the championship game is in Phoenix.
So we're still working on that. We'll see how that goes. And otherwise, Mike, good job with your transition, and hopefully it's going well with 24/7. You were at 24/7 before. Now you're at 24/7 without the other addition of the bro or whatever. But good luck to you there, and we'll see how it goes. And Mike, I guess until next time, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.